everybody, and welcome into another episode of Dynasty Buys from Zilla Fantasy Elite. My name is Todd here. We're going to go over Darnell Mooney in today's episode, the wide receiver out of Chicago for the Bears. And he is my top Dynasty buy going into the 2021 season, and I will show you why. So for me, the first thing we're going to do is look at Darnell Mooney's playerprofiler.com profile and look at his athletic profile and some of his college stats that go into why we think this guy could be a top dynasty buy and why he's my number one buy. The first thing we're going to look at and notice for Darnell Mooney is his 4.38 40-yard dash. That is 96th percentile among wide receivers, so he is blazing fast even by NFL standards. Anything sub 4.40 is considered very elite speed there. He does have a below average speed score, but this speed score is basically size adjusted 40-yard dash. So he comes in at 176, which is fairly light for NFL wide receivers, but he's 5'10", not extraordinarily tall, but not super short either. Tyreek Hill, very good comp. Tyreek Hill is 5'10", 185 pounds. So Mooney, not quite as thick as Tyreek Hill. If you look at Tyreek Hill, he's built pretty well. Mooney's a little bit lankier guy. He's 9 pounds lighter. For me, he's more of like a Steve Smith. Steve Smith's an inch shorter, also 185 pounds like Tyreek Hill, but I believe Mooney and Smith would be a very good comp as far as what their athletic profile. Steve Smith back in the day ran a 4.41, and he came in with roughly a 41st percentile speed score and a 71st percentile burst score back in the day. So I think that is very comparable, and I believe Mooney's upside is roughly what Steve Smith is. Smith wasn't like one of these Alpha X prototypical humongo wide receivers that you would want your X to be. I believe Mooney has the talent to ascend to be a top 15 to top 20 wide receiver in the NFL on a consistent basis. First of all, we're going to look at his breakout age here. We have 18.9, 93rd percentile breakout age. The reason I believe this is the number one predictive thing for wide receivers, which it is if you go look at the top 40 dynasty wide receivers, breakout age, percentage-wise, if they're above the 50th percentile, he's in the 93rd percentile at 18.9. This is the number one predictive text for predictive analytic for wide receivers heading into the NFL. And the reason this is because if you're coming into college, you know, maybe you're even as low as 17, but 18 years old, and you're going against 21, 22, sometimes 23-year-olds at the college level, and you're only 18, and you're playing guys that are 5 years older than you, been hitting the weights for 5 years at college or JUCO or any of that stuff, and you're coming in and dominating these guys, that shows that you're probably a superior talent and a superior athletic-wise to some of these guys that are even older than you. So when they come into the NFL with these low breakout age, like in the 18s or early 19s, kind of like Mooney is here, 93rd percentile, it's likely that he's going to translate well into the NFL. And the next closest one to the breakout age is actually college dominator, which accounts basically for how much of the total college offense you were, yards and touchdown wise, and we see he comes in at 71st percentile there. He also had an 84th percentile college yards per reception at 17.8, which is very healthy, and a 77th percentile college target share at Tulane there. Again, he was a rookie this year, started week 2 actually for the Chicago Bears, so right away he became a starter. The coaching staff there has not changed, but you could see the coaching staff were designing plays for him every single week for him to get downfield and get open deep. They did that quite often. It just was unfortunate because the quarterbacks missed him a ton during the season. He could have easily had 6 or 7 more receptions that were all over 50 yards for touchdowns. It was just Nick Foles and Trubisky missed him on those opportunities. He could have easily had a lot better season than what he had. And with that being said, I believe this is why he is one of the top dynasty wide receivers that you can get, and personally my top dynasty purchase going into the 21 season, I believe you could probably get him for a third round pick in your rookie drafts, and he is far going to outproduce that next season and over the next course. As you can see some of these highlights going, he is just a phenomenal athlete and phenomenal at catching the ball. If we look at his receiving stats, we see 98 targets, 61 receptions, so he's only at a 62.2% catch rate. I believe that is going to go up. Chicago did mention they're going to be very aggressive in the quarterback market this offseason, so with the same coaching staff and better quarterback play, I believe this catch rate could easily ascend to the 75% range. And then his targets, I believe, could go up to 110, 115. Potentially, if Allen Robinson leaves, he could be looking at even more than that. But we see a yards per reception of only 10.3. If he's hit on a lot of those deep passes, which I think he will be next year, especially if they have better quarterback play, you're probably looking at a yards per reception in the 15 or 16 range. They do a lot of underneath stuff to try and get him the ball in his hands, just because he has that burst and that straight line speed. If he makes a few guys miss, he's taking it to the house. So they do pass to him underneath quite a bit. But if we take a peek at the calculator here, let's just do some math. If we consider a 75% catch rate and 115, we're looking at about 86 receptions. So he had 61. He's going to go up to probably 80, 85 next season. And if we're looking at a 15 yards per reception, so let's just do the low end, 80 yards or 80 receptions times 15 yards per reception. We're looking at an 80 and 1,200 season next year for Darnell Mooney, which I believe is well within his range of outcomes given what he looks like on tape and if they have an upgrade at quarterback play. So that's why we're looking at Darnell Mooney as one of the top dynasty buys. Go out and get him. I believe you can get him for a third round pick in the 2021 draft. There is a ton of receivers, so I believe people, if you didn't have Mooney on your squad, and even those that did, I don't think realized how good this guy looked unless you were going into the NFL Game Pass and watching the film. This dude gets open with ease. Looks like he was putting Ramsey on skates. Marshawn Lattimore, Janoris Jenkins, just blowing by some of these big-name cornerbacks and making them look silly. Xavier Rhodes, he toasted, as you saw here. But with that being said, I think that's going to do it for the Darnell Mooney Top Dynasty Buy episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Please smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you get alerts whenever these videos go live. Obviously, Zilla Fantasy Elite, we're looking at DFS during the season. We're putting out game film for guys, a lot of these rookie running backs, rookie receivers, to show you what they look like. And then doing some of the off-season stuff with top dynasty buys and things like that. Just giving you a little bit more information out there. Hopefully you can become a better dynasty player. And hope you enjoyed the Darnell Mooney. Go get him. Third round pick, I believe you could get him for, and you're going to be looking at 80 for 1,200, and who knows, maybe 8 or 9 touchdowns if he gets a few more of those bombs. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.